What's up you guys, it's Aditi. Welcome back to our channel. I made a video on brainstorm and I got a fairly good response on that. I got a few comments saying that you would like to see such videos, so here I am with another one, and I really enjoy the brain and neuroscience part of psychology, so I'm quite excited for such videos. So today we're going to talk about endocrine system, as you already know from the title. But before we begin, I just want to give a little disclaimer that I'm not going to use a lot of medical terms, because as psychology students, or at least as first year psychology students, we don't need to know a lot about the medical terminology and getting too much in depth, so we are not going to do that. I want to keep this video as simple and as crisp as possible so that first year students can learn, somebody who is interested in brain and this topic can learn from this, anybody can learn from this. So let's begin with today's video. Endocrine system is another communication system that is interconnected with the nervous system. You know what nervous system is, right? Central nervous system, peripheral nervous system. If you have no clue what I'm saying, then let me know in the comment section. I'll make a video on nervous system next time. So the endocrine system is basically a collection of glands. Glands are organs that secrete chemicals in our body. You must have heard of salivary gland and sweat glands, which secrete saliva and sweat respectively, obviously. But these salivary glands and sweat glands secrete the chemicals directly onto the body tissues through ducts or tiny tubes. These kinds of glands affect the functioning of the body and not behavior like the endocrine glands. Now, the endocrine glands do not have any ducts or tubes. They secrete chemicals directly into the bloodstream. And these chemicals that endocrine glands secrete are known as hormones. We all know, we have always heard of hormones. And we know that hormones affect our emotions and our behavior. And they also affect other organs as well, like heart, pancreas, sex organs, etc. Some hormones are chemically identical to neurotransmitters. So you can say that endocrine system and the nervous system are like close relatives. I've already said they're interconnected, but they're really close relatives. Because there are some similarities while there are some subtle differences between them. Some of the differences are like in nervous system, the nerves, like network of nerves or basically neurons carry messages, whereas here in the endocrine system is the bloodstream that actually carries hormones. Second difference is that in nervous system the messages are known as electrical impulses and here it's hormones. Third difference is that in nervous system, the messages travel in a fraction of a second, whereas in the endocrine system, it is comparatively slower because it is secreted and then it travels through the bloodstream, so it goes at the pace of the bloodstream. The endocrine system has a long-lasting effect than the neural messages. Like for example, if you get upset, then you take some time to actually cool down. But like when we face danger, the endocrine system and the nervous system, they work together to deal with the threat that's in front of us. The endocrine system releases hormones and the sympathetic nervous system gets activated due to the sudden release of hormones, which makes our heart starts beating faster, we start breathing faster, we start sweating profusely, etc., etc. But when the threat is no longer there, the hormones and the excitement that we feel, it kind of lingers for a while and it takes some time to actually fade away. If you did not understand this part, like neurotransmitters kya hai, sympathetic nervous system kya hai, let me know in the comment section below. I'll make a video, don't worry, you don't need to worry about this whole part. Let's move on to the parts of the endocrine system. The endocrine system is made of collection of glands, right? So there are total of 7 glands. First one is the pineal gland, pituitary gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, adrenal glands, pancreas, and the gonads or gonads, whatever. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Okay. Now that I've already spoken about dealing with danger and threat, let's speak about adrenal glands. Everyone has two adrenal glands on top of each kidney. Each adrenal gland is divided into two sections, adrenal medulla and adrenal cortex. We just spoke that when we deal with danger, hormones are secreted, right? But which gland secrete these hormones? It's this one. Adrenal medulla actually secretes epinephrine and norepinephrine. We already know the adrenaline rush that we feel. The epinephrine hormone actually gives us that. So these two hormones are actually released when we are under stress, and these hormones actually activate the sympathetic nervous system. The adrenal cortex actually secretes almost 30 different hormones called as corticoids. They are also known as steroids. These hormones actually regulate our salt intake, help initiate and control stress reactions, and also provides a source of sex hormones in addition to the ones that are provided by the gonads or gonads. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Now, cortisol is one of the most important of these adrenal hormones. It is released when our body experiences stress, like physical stress, like illness, surgery, extreme heat or cold, and even psychological stress, like being maybe emotional upset. Cortisol regulates blood pressure, blood sugar, and it also boosts energy during stress, and it also balances afterwards. Cortisol is important in the release of glucose in the bloodstream, which provides energy for the brain itself, and release of fatty acids from the fat cell that gives muscles the energy they need. The second we're going to talk about are the gonads or gonads, whatever. They are the sex glands, ovaries in the female and testes in the male. So basically they secrete hormones that regulate sexual behavior and reproduction. So the ovaries secrete estrogen and progesterone, and the male gonads secrete testosterone. But these aren't the only ones that actually control or regulate sexual behavior, at least in humans, because our brain is the master of everything, including sexual behavior. And there are a lot of other factors, like psychological factors, that play a vital part, like say attractiveness. You know how you say things like, oh, she's not my type. Exactly that. The third one we'll talk about is the pancreas. Now, pancreas is about 6 inches long, exactly like the Subway sandwich, and it sits across the back of the abdomen behind the stomach. It plays a dual function in our body. One is the exocrine system, and second one is the endocrine system. We'll talk about the exocrine system first. In the exocrine system, it secretes enzymes that work with the bile from the liver and the gallbladder to break down substances for proper digestion and absorption. The second one is the endocrine system, where the pancreas secrete two kinds of hormones. One is the insulin and second is the glucagon, and both help in maintaining the glucose level or the blood sugar level in our body. It secretes insulin, which lowers the blood glucose when the levels get too high, and it secretes glucagon, which increases the blood glucose level when the levels are too low. Next we'll talk about is thyroid gland. It is a butterfly-shaped gland that is located at the base of the neck. It lies against and around the windpipe, which is the trachea. It releases a hormone called as, you guessed it right, thyroid, which regulates metabolism. Now, metabolism means how fast our body can actually burn its available energy. It also plays a role in bone growth, that is regulating calcium levels, and development of the brain and nervous system in children. Thyroid hormones also help maintain normal blood pressure, heart rate, digestion, muscle tone, and reproductive functions. Next one obviously is going to be parathyroid. Now there are 4 small glands, normally the size of a grain of rice, located in the neck behind the thyroid. This is where it continuously monitors and regulates blood calcium levels by producing a hormone called, you guessed it right, parathyroid hormone. 6th one is pineal gland. It's a small pea-shaped gland in the brain. It secretes melatonin, which helps in sleep-wake cycle. I'm going to explain more about this in the sleep videos that I'm going to make in my sleep series. So if that's something you're interested in, then please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell notification as well. Now, I have kept the best and the most important gland for last. Pituitary gland. It is located in the brain itself, behind the nose. It's a small oval shaped. It's just below the hypothalamus and it is attached to it. And hypothalamus actually controls the pituitary gland. We'll learn more about hypothalamus in next week's video, next Friday, where I'm going to talk about limbic system, so stay tuned for that. Even if you don't take anything from this video, I want you to take this one gland and remember about this one. I'm kind of very fascinated about this one. Pituitary gland is also called as the master gland because it controls the other glands. Yeah, can you believe it? Like, iske bhi baap ka baap hai, kind of. It's like it senses the body's needs and then it sends messages to different organs and glands throughout the body to secrete hormones to do their function, to maintain some balance. It's like without the pituitary gland, our body wouldn't grow properly, wouldn't reproduce, and even wouldn't be able to do bodily functions. Pituitary gland releases certain hormones called as the growth hormone that stimulate physical development as children grow from infancy to adulthood, and also oxytocin, which is associated with pregnancy, like uterine contractions during birthing. Like along with oxytocin, even prolactin has been released during production of milk while nursing a child. Also, oxytocin promotes pair bonding and social trust and group cohesion. Like, I have already spoken a little bit about oxytocin in my other videos. I'll put it up in my I buttons. It's also known as the love hormone or the cuddle hormone. Pituitary gland also controls the levels of salt and water in our body. I hope you guys learned something from this video. If you did, then don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any video topic ideas that you can think of and I can make a video onto it. Please subscribe to this channel and join this community. Let's grow together. And don't forget to hit the bell notification right next to the subscribe button so you will be notified every time I post a new video. I'll see you next Friday with another psychology video. Next Friday is going to be a limbic system video. So I'll see you next Friday.